Hi, this is Kelly. Welcome to my channel. Today I have two grave and gorgeous DIYs for you. DIY number one, Grave Elegance. So I got this little tabletop decor piece at Dollar General. And I'm just removing this little sign, and there's little tacks in there I gotta pull out. And it doesn't take much to get this cleaned off. And we're going to paint the entire thing with rich black chalk paint. Get a small brush that you don't care about so much, because this will tear up your paintbrush getting in and out of here. And I did this mold. It's a silicone mold that I did with hot glue. And these are nice because you just take the tip of your gun and melt the back instead of adding more glue, making it bulky. So that works very well. And I have this little, it's another Dollar General tabletop sign that I painted all black. I'm sorry I got off screen there, but it's just a little square, kind of shadow box looking sign. And we're taking some more of our rich black chalk paint and mixing it with equal amount of baking soda. And you want to stir that together really well. Get all the clumps out. You don't want big clumps in there. And I'm going to take my brush, and you can't exactly brush this on. It's a little too thick. You kind of have to dab it in place. And I guess it depends on how thick you make it, but I find it works better if you dab it on. And I usually do this twice. 2 coats. Just dab it on. And there's my little box. Okay, now you can see what I was talking about. Nothing special. And we're going to do the same thing. Texture the sides and front of the frame area. We're not going to worry about the inside of it. So once all that is nice and dry, I'm going to take my Decor Art Primitive, very similar to Waverly Sandstone. And we're just going to dry brush and pick up all those nice texture details. And we did the same thing with the base. Now I've got my Deco Art Metallic Gold. And I'm just going to brush that onto my little filigree detail here. And this is a subtle gold. You really kind of have to go on there several times with it to get, if you want to darken it. If you just want a little shimmer, that's fine. But to actually get gold accents, you want to use something like Rub and Buff or something like that for something that really pops. And there's my little skeleton hand. I previously had painted I used both hands. The other hand in the second project, I used both hands in this video. I had painted them for something else and ended up not using them. So I just added a little gold accent to that as well. And a combination of E6000 and hot glue. Glue our tombstone in place. And I'm going to use a pretty good amount of hot glue to get this hand in place. And I'm not worried about that showing because we're going to fill it in with Spanish moss. You want to get enough to make sure it's going to hold that hand where you want it. And the fingers lean against the tombstone, so it's got a little extra support there. I didn't want to try to put glue on the fingers and end up getting glue everywhere. So we're going to start in the back and get our Spanish moss down. And then I want to make sure I get some underneath the hand. So I'm just kind of letting the glue fall rather than try to get it down in there, because you end up smearing glue everywhere. And tuck a little bit under the hand. Yep. Get a little help. Don't want to burn your fingers. And some more across the front. These two projects are so simple and fun and easy to do, and they turn out really beautiful. Now, I didn't get enough glue on the flower when I first put it in there, so I'm going to add a little more to the back of it. Make sure it's not going to go anywhere. And the same thing, hold it above and kind of let the glue kind of fall down from the nozzle rather than try to get it in there, because that's when you end up smearing it all over your flower. And this little beauty is complete. Easy, fun, beautiful. Love it. DIY number 2, engrave detail. So here's my other skeleton hand, and what I'm doing is heating this up to try and flatten it out as much as I can. I'm holding it with the little pliers so I'm not burning my hands. And this is going to be my tombstone. I'm using that to help flatten it. And while it's still hot, you just keep bending and manipulating them until you get it as flat as you can. And now we're going to take this little sign off of here. This one was a little easier, didn't have those tacks in it like the first one. And then once you get this off, that'll start peeling this paper design off. And all I do is go ahead and peel the rest of that off. So now I'm going to hot glue my hand to the front. Get on a couple fingers. Now it's okay if a little bit of glue shows, you just don't want big blobs of it. So just a little bit. We're going to encase this hand on here with some tissue paper. So we need it to stay in place. But if the fingers don't stay glued down, that doesn't matter. They will. Get the base of the hand down really well and you won't have a problem. I just didn't want the fingers moving around until we got going. So here we have some Mod Podge and a piece of crumpled up tissue paper about the same size of the front of this thing. Now, once you have the bulk of the hand, it's not going to fill it up, but it's going to cover most of the hand in one whack. And then from there, we'll take smaller pieces and do some layering and patching, because when you put this over top of something and start pressing it down, it's going to rip. It just is. You just have to go with the flow of it. When you're getting between the fingers, you'll see that in a minute. And I'm just taking my paintbrush and dabbing it down all around the hand between, and make sure you get glue down on the sides and between the fingers. Now see, it ripped right there. That's okay. That's okay. Once we establish, I guess the base of, I don't know what you want to call it. Once we get it started, we're going to add smaller pieces. But yeah, it's going to rip. Just, don't worry about that. Of course it is. Tissue paper. It's wet tissue paper, right? So we just keep on adding glue and pressing it down. In between all the nooks and crannies, in between all the fingers. And I kind of up underneath the fingers, I kind of press it to where it's kind of tucked under, but it's attached. It's kind of hard to explain, but anyway, so then everywhere that it ripped, take smaller pieces and go back over the fingers like I'm doing here, and don't add too much. Just, you want layers and texture, but you want to still see the details in the skeleton hand. And then once you do that, we're going to go around and finish covering the front. And I also do, I don't show it, but I also do the top and sides as well. I don't do the back, but I do the top and sides. So once everything's nice and dry, I give it a couple coats of Folk Art Castle chalk paint. I like this color. It looks like, well, castle. It looks like the stones a castle would be built with. It's a pretty nice color. And I just get some, quick and thick and quick. I always get it backwards. Quick and thick tight bond glue, and glue a couple of Jenga blocks together. And once that tacks up a little bit, I'm just going to use some blue painter's tape to clamp it for about an hour. And then we'll also go back and paint that with the Castle Gray. And my base, this is another Dollar General tabletop sign, and it's just a plain flat rectangle. Peel the paper decoration off and paint the entire thing with my Waverly truffle. It's just like a chocolate brown, and we're going to dry brush that with some of this Castle Gray. Then with our tombstone here, I've got a very small chip brush to get between the fingers, and we're going to dry brush with black and pick up all that lovely texture. I love the tissue paper deal. It's fun to do, and it's a great look. And we're going to go in and do the same on the hand, but do it much darker. We want the hand to stand out, not blend into the background. Thank you guys so much for being with me here today. I hope you're enjoying today's video. I love creepy and beautiful. It's my jam. And we're just going to keep on adding some black. Make sure you get between the fingers. And now we've got our base. We've painted it gray and distressed with black already. And we're going to do a combination of the E6000 and hot glue to attach this to the bottom of our tombstone here. I'm trying to spread it a little bit so it's not bulky. Now we're going to have Spanish moss, but still I want it to glue firmly to the bottom here. And same with the hot glue. I don't want big blobs. I'm going to try to use a small amount, because this just holds it in place long enough to keep to let the E6000 cure completely. And we're going to press down on that. Once that hot glue sets, we can continue on. And these are some roses and leaves, or one rose and two leaves that I made out of air dry clay with one of my silicone molds. Painted the leaves black, and I painted the rose with a Testers is the brand. It's an acrylic by Testers paint, and it's called Plum, and it's a really pretty color. So I'm just gluing these to the base of the hand. I'm trying to get the glue exactly where I want it. Now some of the glue is going to get underneath that rose there, but once it's all put together you won't see that. It's not, you know, running out the bottom or anything. So here I've got my rub and buff, and I'm just going to put a little on my finger, and I'm going to catch all the edges of the rose petals. And then the hand, we're going to add quite a bit on the hand. Again, we want the hand to pop. And I've got that black background. And we're going to just keep on adding rub and buff until you get the look you want. Now once it starts to dry, it kind of fades a little. You might have to go in a couple times to get the color you want. And I also did the leaves, and I took a little brush to get around the sides of the leaves and everything. And then we're going to do the same thing to glue this to our base. Spread some E6000 on there. I have to use a stick or I'll get it everywhere. That stuff makes a mess. And it stinks. But it does have really great hold, so. And then again, a little hot glue in between. Trying to kind of keep it from getting too bulky. Get a small amount and leave room for it to, you know, press down and out. So it's not, you know, showing out of the side, but pressing down so it's not lifting it, you know. So we're just going to add some black Spanish moss all the way around with some hot glue. Get that in place. I'm going to trim all the excess. I want to kind of see the base of the tombstone a little bit if possible. And this one is done. 2 quick, fun, and easy projects. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Here's my reveal. I should have put a different background with that. It's hard to see, but they turned out so pretty. Let me know what's your favorite. I think the second one is my favorite, but let me know in the comments. Thanks again for being here with me today. Please come back and see me. Don't forget to like and share and all the things. Bye.